My name is Danielle James. I am an artist who predominantly works in neon glass. Today we're going to be breaking down one of my pieces in 6 steps. Step 1 is transferring the design to a wooden board. I would consider myself just at the entry level of journeywoman, which is the middle area. I'm not an apprentice anymore, but I'm definitely not a master. I'm like in the middle, but I'm nowhere near the top tier. Definitely squarely in the middle average. But when there's only 250 of you in the United States, being average is pretty great. I think that's also kind of what drew me to doing neon is it's rare. It's just a rare thing to find a neon person. It's a rare thing to get the materials. It's a challenge on all fronts. It's a challenge to do, and I like challenges. That was pretty good. They don't always go so smooth. That one did not. After that needs to dry for a while, and so I usually go over to the bending station, turn on my fires and my blowers, and once the pattern is made, I have a clear goal on how the unit's going to be designed, and so I just kind of go on autopilot at that point. Make some lightning bolts. Lightning bolts. Then it goes over to the bombarding station, gets bombarded, which is basically just an intense vacuum sucking out all the impurities inside the glass tube, and then inserting pure either argon or neon gas. In this case, it's argon. There's a mercury trap that I need to put on for a nice place for the mercury to hide during the bombarding session, which it likes to brighten argon up, so we like to put it in there a little bit so that it's not such a dim color. This is a all borosilicate handmade system, and it's beautiful, but it also looks real old-timey. Also, these two flasks back here are my gases, so this is you can't see, but there's a blue label on this one, which is my argon, and then my neon is over here. So I can also do this fun thing. See how much brighter that is already. Oh, I need to let a little bit of oxygen in. Can't make a fire with none of that. So the different colors you see as this is happening is basically the dust and the grime. It's pretty dang hot. Alright, that's it. Step 4 is covering the connecting parts with a highly pigmented black paint. Once the unit has cooled down and the argon is in there in the correct amount, the blackout paint does get put on in parts where you don't want to see it. In this case, it's all we have 3 lightning bolts, but it's all one unit, so they have to connect somewhere. Your eyeballs usually don't even notice that it's there. I may eventually actually paint over that with white, and so that it's a little bit more camouflaged and it matches the background. But most neon signs have blackout paint on the back, and no one notices it's there. So it's the point of blackout, is to not be seen. Step 5 is rubbing the paper off the adhered design. Alright, now all that's left to do on this is to gently rub off the paper that's on the face of it so that we can reveal. And all that's we need to do is, you can already kind of see. And the amount of water depends on a lot of variables, but eventually it just starts to come off. And then this is basically like 3 hours of me super exfoliating my hands. Probably not 3 hours, but it's coming off pretty nicely. But if you get it too wet, too fast, yeah, like see it started to come off, the ink is starting. So you kind of gotta work in sections and let it dry. Step 6 is wiring and assembly. I feel like I have a pretty non-traditional education in neon because my mentor kind of taught himself, and that's the case a lot of times. He did have a slight mentor, but it was kind of like what worked for him. Everybody bends differently, so I wouldn't say there really are traditional and non-traditional. It's just really like where you learned and who you learned from. There's a lot to be learned from the older generation in general, and then also in my field, because those are the people who are doing it. The things that I do that are kind of, I think, a little crazy are my subject matter, because a lot of the neon people out there, I think, come at it from a signage perspective. Their work is more commercial and or like larger, and I think because I come from a kind of a small, almost miniature sculpture background, or like graphic design background, my stuff tends to be a little bit more in your face content-wise, and then also pushing the boundaries of like what neon can do, because like technically those lightning bolts, because they go off the edge of the canvas, it's like kind of a no-no as far as like shipping, and you know, it might not last forever, but like I like it. I like how it looks. It gets special treatment now. I mean, that's its life. And if it breaks, it breaks. Everything breaks is broken in the future. So.